Hey guys, and welcome to Matt's Reloading Bench. Today, I'm going to be out here with the 6.5 PRC again. I got some new load data set up using Retumbo Powder and Federal gold metal 210 primers. So we'll see what we get for some results. Hopefully I get better groups than what I did with the last set that I did. This 5-shot group is going to be with 57.6 grains of powder. Well, I can tell you that I can see drastic improvements already. I took a different route as far as seating depth goes, and instead of trying 20 thousandths off of the lands, this time I actually went with the seating depth that was in the Hornady reloading manual. And the first group I can tell you right now is sub 3/4 MOA. So I'll keep going with this and we'll see how it all pans out. At 57.6 grains of powder, I've got a group size of 0.64 MOA with a mean radius of 0.24 MOA. In regards to the lab radar, I did not do my due diligence and I forgot to have it set up for this shot group. So unfortunately I do not have any information on muzzle velocity, standard deviation, or extreme spread. This 5-shot group is going to be with 57.7 grains of powder. At 57.7 grains of powder, I've got a group size of 1.11 MOA with a mean radius of 0.46 MOA. And unfortunately, as you can see, I still did not have my lab radar set up, so I still do not have any shot data for this 5-shot group. This 5-shot group is going to be with 57.8 grains of powder. At 57.8 grains of powder, I've got a group size of 0.96 MOA with a mean radius of 0.38 MOA. The average muzzle velocity is 29.59 with an extreme spread of only 10.06 and a standard deviation of only 4.43. This 5-shot group is going to be with 57.9 grains of powder. At 57.9 grains of powder, I pulled my very last shot in this 5-shot group, and I know that I did. But for the 5-shot group, I had a group size of 1.69 MOA with a mean radius of 0.46 MOA. If I only include the 4 shots that I know that were on target, I had a group size of 0.79 MOA with a mean radius of only 0.29 MOA. My average muzzle velocity was 29.58 with an extreme spread of only 9.15 feet per second with a standard deviation of only 3.92 feet per second. This is something that I'm probably going to do some more work with. This 5-shot group is going to be at 58 grains of powder. At 58.0 grains of powder, I had a group size of 0.99 MOA with a mean radius of 0.36 MOA. My average muzzle velocity was 2964 with an extreme spread of 15.22 and a standard deviation of 7.22.
This 5-shot group is going to be at 58.1 grains of powder.
At 58.1 grains of powder, I had a group size of 0.72 MOA with a mean radius of 0.28 MOA. My average muzzle velocity was 2973 with an extreme spread of 33.03 and a standard deviation of 13.53.
This 5-shot group is going to be at 58.2 grains of powder.
At 58.2, I've got a group size of 1 MOA and a mean radius of 0.39 MOA. My average muzzle velocity was 2971 with an extreme spread of 36.36 and a standard deviation of 14.78.
This 5-shot group is going to be at 58.3 grains of powder.
At 58.3 grains of powder, I've got a group size of 1.29 MOA with a mean radius of 0.47 MOA. My average muzzle velocity is 2979 feet per second with an extreme spread of 24.89 and a standard deviation of 9.95.
Well, now I can see that the groups are really starting to open back up. But I've got 2 more sets to do, so we're going to go ahead and see what happens. This 5-shot group is going to be at 58.4 grains of powder.
At 58.4 grains of powder, I've got a group size of 0.94 MOA with a mean radius of 0.32 MOA. My average muzzle velocity is 2984 with an extreme spread of 26.17 and a standard deviation of 9.89.
Time for the last 5-shot group, which is at 58.5 grains of powder.
At 58.5 grains of powder, I had a group size of 1.4 MOA with a mean radius of 0.52 MOA. My average muzzle velocity was 2989 with an extreme spread of 26.97 and a standard deviation of 10.78. Alright, so now that I'm back home and I've had a chance to analyze the group sizes with the shot data from the lab radar, I can see that I've got a lot better outcome with how I have this setup versus the previous setup. In my last set of videos, I was using the H1000 powder and I was going 20 thousandths off at a lands. And this time around for the seating depth, I went off of what was in the Hornady manual for the cartridge overall length. And with that, I'm happy with the results that I got overall. The majority of my groups were sub MOA, which to me is pretty damn good. And on top of that, I had quite a few with standard deviations in single digits. The vast majority of them were actually. The one that really surprises me is the 57.9 grain loadout. I know for the 5-shot group it was a little ugly with the one all the way off to the side. I know for a fact that I pulled that shot. I knew it as soon as I pulled the trigger before I even looked at the paper. And looking at the paper just verified what I felt. So with that 5-shot group, it was at 1.69 MOA with a mean radius of 0.46. But if I eliminate that last shot and I just focus on that 4-shot group, I've got a group size of only 0.79 MOA with a mean radius of 0.29. This is probably going to be the load that I'm going to go with because the group size was actually really good. And the extreme spread and standard deviation are phenomenal. Single digits for both, that's hard to come by. The muzzle velocity was pretty good at 29.58 for the average. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up, and I'm going to take it out to the 500 yards and see what kind of groups I can get that far away. If you like my video, make sure to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. And subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so that you can get notifications when my next videos come out. Until next time, shoot straight and be safe.